Hey, what's going on? It's Carl here, and I decided that I'm going to start reading a little bit more than I have been. So, what I'm doing is I'm going to be reading books, and then as I go through the book, I'm going to be interpreting or kind of explaining what I took from the book. So, what I'm doing right now is I've already opened the book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon, and I'm just going to go into it because that's kind of what this is about. And I'll add different parts to the book, and there will be more explanation as I get closer and closer towards the end of the book. So it'll be fun for you, and it'll be fun for me. So far I think I'm into chapter 1 of the book. Maybe chapter 2, but it just kind of talks about how there is this city called Babylon, and it was made or composed of a lot of different wealthy people there. I don't recall if there was one particular person yet that the book pointed out, but there was something to be said about the city and the infrastructure of the city and how beautiful it was. The city was really beautiful, and there was a lot of wealth that was going through it. I think something about a canal. And then there was this rule or set of rules. I think there was like 7 of them or something. And in there we could pretty much identify that these rules were the main reasons that the Babylonian city was a success. So when I kind of thought about it a little bit, some of the rules weren't like brand new or anything like that. They were pretty much foundational rules, meaning they were stuff like we kind of already should know, which is that we should save and that we should go ahead and put money away anytime we get paid, that we should save 1 coin out of 10 coins when we get paid, and then that 1 coin will eventually grow and grow and grow based upon the rule of compounding interest, that sort of thing. And then I'm not too far into the book yet, but I do kind of know a little bit about making money and investing, so I get what they're saying so far, but I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that I know what the rest of the book is about, because that would not be right, and I don't know what the rest of the book is about. And I think so far it's really interesting. Again, there was some other parts, and as I do this, I try to it's not in any kind of order, but the thing is, there was this Babylonian city, right? And then what happened was it lasted, I think, don't quote me, but I think it was 8,000 years that it was in existence. And it was before Christ, BC. And what happened was, towards the end, there was an attack, and a great conqueror came to the Babylonian city. And I guess there was a lot of conflict. But what happened was, the richest man in Babylon, or the Babylonian leaders, decided that we're not going to sit here and let them take the fight to us. So what they did was they went out and they met them somewhere else, like outside of their walls of the city. So they took the fight to them, or they met them somewhere in the middle of the desert, and then they fought, but the Babylonian city didn't win, and then they were kind of taken over. I don't know so much as to whether the victors, the ones who won the war, if they actually went back into the city of Babylon and decided that maybe they want to. I don't know if that's what they did. I don't know, but that was the end of the Babylonian regime, I guess you could say. And so I don't know a whole bunch else. I just know that there is these rules that was being explained in the book, and that what happened next was there was kind of this mentor-mentee thing, or this envy type of thing, where the person who was really rich, I guess the richest man in Babylon, what happened was he ended up saying to another person a few important things, because this person that didn't have as much money as the richest man in Babylon kind of went through this deal with him and was like, well, why do you have so much money? Like, what makes you think you deserve all this money? I mean, we went to school together, we played sports together, etc., etc. Why do you have all the money and we don't? Has luck favored you more than us, type of thing? And what ultimately was said by the richest man in Babylon was that it's not that I have any greater skill or anything like that, or fate. What it has to do is ultimately it was like, while you're doing all those things, I'm over here learning how to get rich. It was kind of that perspective on the person that was asking the question. And so he went off to say something like, you wouldn't ask a doctor how to make money, you would ask someone who was already making money. And that's kind of like what he was saying, and I'm sure there was a lot more to it, but the point was that this didn't just happen to him. He learned how to get rich, and while everybody else is doing their thing, he's studying and studying and studying, and then eventually one day, this situation happens where people are asking, how did you get so wealthy? And then the whole time, the richest man in Babylon was going and asking people, like, can you teach me? I'll do anything. I'll carve clay or something like that for all night. He's just basically demonstrating how badly he wants to learn how to be rich. And so that's what he did, was he went to people and just kept trying to learn how to get wealthy. And I thought that was pretty interesting, because it just showed his determination. And so he was given a chance, and people were teaching him how to get rich, and that kind of got us a little bit further in the book. And so the city was really prosperous. There was everybody in there was doing, I don't know about everybody, but obviously it kind of went in and it described like how civilizations are and how they work for the most part, and that I guess not everybody is going to be rich per se, because people are people, and they're gonna be what they want. Like, they're not always gonna be people that want to be rich. And so that's kind of, I don't know, the principles in that city were that, it was running, I got the vision or the vibe that the city was paved with gold. That sort of thing, and that it was perfect. But I doubt it was, as we get more into the book, I'm sure that it's not as beautiful or as golden as it seems. And that there is probably a reason why people are poor, and I think that's what he's going to start getting into. So that will be interesting. I honestly don't know that much more. I know I read a little bit, and I might be missing a little bit, but that's the point, is why I'm doing this is I'm going to be reading the book from first chapter all the way to the end of the book, and I'm just going to be working on my reading comprehension. That's kind of like why I'm doing this podcast, is I want to get better at my reading comprehension, so I try to explain books in the best manner that I can by verbalizing it out loud. And I hope that you will stick around, because I'm going to make a lot of parts to this series of book reviews. So like, this is part 1, and then I'm going to do part 2, part 3, part 4, all the way up until like however many parts it takes to finish the book. Again, I'm using Audible, the app, and I'm an affiliate marketer, so like, one of the things I do is I'll probably grab a link and I'll have you subscribe to it, and I'll earn a commission, because I love doing that stuff. I love to sell products and maybe I'll sell the audio app, the Audible app, or maybe I'll sell the actual book itself on here. Maybe I'll put a link in there, or maybe I'll do something. Maybe I won't even do affiliate marketing, I don't know, but just wanted you to know that if I do it, it's going to be a disclaimer in that, yeah, we'll probably make a commission from it. But yeah, this is really fun for me, and I really enjoy doing this. I can't wait to finish this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Stay tuned. Thank you. Talk to you.